we're going to put it back together. Start out with the worm gear first. You want to slide it in. Oh yeah, I forgot the other side, didn't I? Slide it in. Make sure to lock it in that little sleeve up there. Take the actual worm gear. Push it in that side. Like so. Take your locking pin. Hook it right like this. And just close it. And lock on that other side over there. Get your paw. Insert it straight up. And spin it till it locks in. Make sure it spins. See how it's spinning? Okay. Get your cap. And put your cap on. Like that. Now it's spinning. Okay. Now we're going to start with the actual gear tray. I like to start off with first the arms. Get them up here, like so. Okay. Let's put this back together now. Slide that on there. Make sure it's locked all the way down to the bottom. Take this other pin, other washer, slide it down. Then the bigger washer, slide it down. Just come over here, drop it. Like so. Oh, hell, I forgot this. Drop it down like so. Okay, next thing. Little arm gear that meets, it goes on 2 pegs that meets this other gear. Like so. Right here upside down. Alright. Like that. Like that. Go and put the shield over top of it. Okay. Snap that down. Once that locks in place, it should be pretty good. So, okay. Once you get that, go on and get your gears, your actual side plate. The meat that should slide on pretty easy. Make sure that runs free. Get your little washers out. Lay them from the side. There should be 2, possibly 3 of them if you got 6500s. Just want to put them on. Next is the screws. Okay, once you get that part done, grab this is your drag star, so it's tighten your tension up on your line. Go and spin it on there, like so. Might get a little rough, but you can use your handle, take it down more. Sit on top and just spin it. Like that. See how I'm doing that? Sometimes it gets a little rough when it gets down there toward the end, but it should start to tighten up. There it goes.
Always remembered everybody's birthday.
Get your little washer that goes on the other side of it. A lot of people put theirs on like this, but I kind of like mine like this so I can see the space between the handle. It don't really make a difference which way it goes on there. At least I ain't found out a difference yet. Put your handle on there. Tighten your washer up. Now you get it on there. Come on, damn it. And once you get that on, put your cap on. Don't tighten it up too tight, just a couple turns. Okay? Once you get this I actually like putting this plate on first. Make sure your gear spins pretty free. See how that spins pretty good right there? Okay, so you always put that on the side. The head of your gear coming off your worm gear. That's what turns your reel actually turns the worm gear. Because the gear comes off. This is actually gear on your spool. Y'all can see that. This turns that little gear right there. Turns that big gear. That gear turns your worm gear. Okay, so you place it on, make sure it's lined up right before you put any screws on it. Once you get that side plate, don't tighten them up all the way yet. Just enough to keep it in there. Okay, next thing. Your axle. Take the axle, slide it through. Make sure it spins pretty good. See it's spinning? Okay. Next, you want to stick it, line it up with that little hole back there. See that little hole? Right up with it. Most time it goes in there pretty easy, but you can't have problems with it. It's a pain too sometimes, especially if you're in a hurry at the lake and something goes wrong. Next thing, on these button reels like this, when you put your spool on, you need to lift your button up. Next for the actual plate. So I click it up, line it up. See how this slides right on? Like so. No, okay. Test back in there. Button up. So you line it right up with there. Spin it till it gets lined up. Okay, see how this popped right on there? Clink. Okay. Tighten up your sides. Not too tight yet. You don't want to tighten them up real hard yet. Okay. Now let's go back through and I'll tighten everything up. Okay. Now before I start to do anything, something I learned, because I mean, yeah, you can use it just like this, but what I do, I tighten my line tension all the way tight as I can get it. Right there, that little cap, tighten up tight as you can get it. Do the same with your drag. Everything's packed against whatever they're supposed to be in there, plus they give you room to tighten your nut up a little bit more. But it compacts all the washers and all that together, make sure there's no space between them. And you don't want no problem, just give it a couple cranks once you do that. Then you can just loosen it back up to whatever you want to set on or whatever. I usually like my cap way loose. See how much it makes a difference, believe it or not, when you tighten them all back. When you tighten them together and then loosen them back up, and then after you get done, it should spin like that.